Did you know that Americans eat an average of 46 slices of pizza a year?
Whoa, that is a lot of pizza.
I know, right? I wonder how many of those slices have questionable toppings on them. What topping do you think is questionable?
Oh, for sure, anchovies.
Oh, yes, but mine is pineapple.
What?
I wonder what Mary's favorite pizza topping is. Let's dig into today's recipe and see if she's a pineapple fan or not.
Welcome to Mom's Wooden Spoon.
Get your apron on and your fanny flicker ready as we cook up some nostalgia.
Ooh, yummy.
Hi, this is Carrie,
And this is Kristen.
and welcome to our Valentine's Day episode.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So, today we're going to make a recipe from April 6th, 1981,
Mm-hmm.
titled Popover Pizza.
Ooh.
So, I'm thinking that it's like pop over, have some Valentine pizza.
Hey, Mickey, come on over for a party.
Where's Mickey? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
Always a good song.
Always
A classic. We digress. So we're not focused on chocolate.
No.
We're not focused on snuggling up with your loved one today.
Although we might do that later.
Focus on that?
No.
Snuggle up with a loved
Yeah,
one?
the snuggle.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I'm always for a good snuggle.
Yeah.
But we're going to do the pizza, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about if you don't have someone fun to spend Valentine's Day with other than your fun self.
That's right.
What are some things maybe that might work for you? Because on this Mary's memo, she actually talks about some ideas.
She did. It's called If You Eat Alone. And she had some lovely ideas.
She did. Like we went into it thinking that they were going to be janky and
Yeah.
hilarious.
Right.
And we were disappointed in the fact that they were good.
They're really
And-
good
yeah.
ideas. Although today we probably would just not do any of those and just watch TV.
Right. Or Netflix and chill.
Yes.
I mean, maybe
By
not Netflix and chill.
yourself.
A different kind of Netflix and chill.
Oh, that's still inappropriate.
Oh, let's delete that part. Please delete. Or just watch a movie on Netflix.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so popover pizza, we're going to do a ground beef, onion, and green pepper pizza. And
Mhm.
so it obviously has those ingredients, tomato sauce, cheese, and then we're going to make a little crust for the top.
That's right. You know, it's not really like a popover. I think of popovers as being more like a hot pocket.
So I thought too that it was going to be like a calzone.
Yes.
Kind of. Yeah. And
No,
then
you just put the batter on the top of the pizza ingredients.
it's a casserole.
It basically is a casserole.
It's a pizza casserole.
You know, I was so disappointed it wasn't a hot pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought. That's a
Because-
really loud onion.
It's really loud. I'll stop peeling it.
She's peeling the onion skin and it's really
Yes,
crispy and
crunchy
crunchy.
and loud.
Okay, so I apologize. You were disappointed that it was not.
I know, right? I used to love Hot Pockets, but
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Hot pocket. Diarrhea pocket.
Oh no! There's a comedian who sings that.
Oh, we are all about making it awkward today.
Yeah, we are. But you know, Hot Pockets didn't come out until 1983, so
It was not a hot pocket.
it was definitely not.
I thought it was going to be like a Yorkshire pudding kind of thing with pizza ingredients on the inside.
Yorkshire pudding.
Because that's what a popover is.
That's true.
It's just like
Yes.
a
Very
Yorkshire.
eggy. It puffs up really high.
Yes.
Yes.
And a lot of times has a little well on the inside.
Right.
Perfect for putting all of your little pizza ingredients
Oh yeah.
inside. That's what
No.
I was expecting, but alas, no.
Well, do you know what top foods came out in 1981?
Oh my gosh.
Can you think of any that?
Anything in 81?
Yeah.
No, I can't
No.
even. Mm-mm.
Okay, the first one was I can't believe it's not butter.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That
Yep.
was a big deal.
It really was a big deal. And lean cuisines also came out in 1981.
Really?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
had my
gosh.
share of those.
Oh, I remember being single and surviving on nothing but lean cuisines and popcorn and cereal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's perfect for our If You Eat Alone message today because a lean cuisine, quick and easy. If you're eating by yourself, you don't want to make a huge meal for
Right.
just one.
You don't want a ton of leftovers.
That's right. Now, Mary did not mention Just grab yourself a lean cuisine, but they were brand spanking new, 1981.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Although something like a popover pizza wouldn't be bad, because I bet that it would be really easy to portion this sucker up after it's cooked,
That's
freeze
right.
it, and have some meals for down the road. Because that way you cook once, eat multiple times.
That's a good idea. It's
Who
a
we
win-win
kidding?
situation right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, two other things that came out in 1981 were Chicken McNuggets and the McRib.
Ooh, now I know the McRib has a cult following.
Yeah.
And we may get hate mail over this sentence. I strongly dislike the McRib.
Oh, I like it, but I wouldn't necessarily go to McDonald's to purposefully get one. But I've eaten it before and I like it. But I just never thought in a million years that McRib came out the same year as McNuggets.
Right.
You would think that the nuggets came out earlier.
They seem like they've been around forever.
They do.
But I suppose they've been around, whereas the McRib kind of comes and goes.
That's true. They make it a seasonal item or a special item.
Speaking of seasonal McDonald's items, I wonder when the Shamrock Shake came out.
Oh my gosh, that is my
good.
favorite.
I know.
Do you know in second grade, I rode down the driveway on my bike and somehow wiped out.
I do know.
Knocked my two front teeth out
Yep.
and also broke my jaw.
Yes.
And so my jaw was wired shut for quite a long time. And Mom would make me, oddly enough, eggnogs because they would have protein in it because my teeth were wired shut. And the only way I could eat was I could put a straw right through where the teeth had fallen out.
So even if you were going to have like a milkshake, it would have to be super runny.
Yes.
Because you had to be able to suck it up through your broken jaw.
That's right. And so she made eggnogs and she put non-alcoholic cream de menthe syrup in it.
I remember that cream de menthe syrup. I loved that stuff.
So it made my little eggnogs taste just like Shamrock Shakes.
I remember using that cream de menthe and adding it on ice cream, like as an ice cream topping.
Oh yeah, that's what it was for.
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Now just add half of the green pepper, one large onion.
You could have mentioned that as I was slicing and dicing.
Well, you were so busy chit-chatting, Carrie. I didn't want to bother you there.
I didn't want to just put the whole pepper in.
You know what? Let's just put it all in.
We're going crazy, folks. We're going crazy.
We're going to make this popover pizza healthy.
That's right. It's going to have a whole green pepper instead of half the green pepper.
Well, it looks good. I think that'll taste yummy.
It does. All right, so we have some ground beef, the onions, and the green pepper. Kristen's going to head over to the stove and sizzle that up. We're actually going to put a pause on the play because we have learned that the sizzling of beef interacts with our microphones. So to spare you from that pain, we'll be right back.
Okay, we have the ground beef, the double amount of green peppers, and the big onion all cooked up in the skillet.
Yes.
It's ready to go, and I think we have to add a whole bunch of ingredients to this meat mixture while it's hot.
Yes,
okay.
We sure do. So we have, oddly enough, a spaghetti sauce packet of dry mix.
Yes, I've never used that before.
I haven't either. No, I mentioned it to a couple people and nobody thought I'd be able to find it.
I didn't think you'd be able to find it at all.
It was right there. You know how you can get like the dry gravy mix, the dry chili mix, taco seasoning. It was all in that section. There were multiple choices. I, of course, picked the cheapest one money would buy.
Well, it's going to be good. The first ingredient is sugar.
Oh, sweet.
Literally.
So let me go ahead and pour some water in.
Yeah, good idea. So this doesn't get all clumpy. So we have a half a cup of water, the powdered sauce mix.
We're going to add in mushrooms, stems and pieces, undrained.
What?
So we're going to have some yummy mushroom juice.
That blows my mind.
In here. Yep.
I'm worried this is going to be too liquidy.
I don't know.
All right, Carrie's going to put in some oregano. Do I add in this entire can?
Yep, 15 ounces.
Ooh, tomato sauce. That's like a soup can size.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So this is interesting. After we get everything all mixed up, we're going to go ahead and put it in a baking dish.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put some slices of mozzarella cheese on the top of it. And then we're going to start on the popover topping.
Yeah. This is just a hot soupy mess right here.
It is indeed.
What else do we need to add?
That's it. We're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, exciting. Let's start making the batter.
Yes. So we're going to make the topping for our popover pizza. Yes. And while we do that, coming back to Valentine's Day,
Yes.
Mary did have some suggestions, and I wanted to read out just a couple. She suggested putting your table near a window or someplace beautiful.
Yeah, taking a TV tray outside to eat.
Yes.
That's a clever idea.
I think that's nice. Maybe
Yeah.
something different than what you would normally do.
Right.
Or using a beautiful place setting.
Yes.
Which I have to say, there's something to that.
Yeah.
So, yay, Mary. Good choice. Do you see any that you like, Kristen?
Let's see.
Apparently she doesn't.
I am looking.
She's a real slow reader.
Leave me alone, you're mean. Include brightly colored foods for eye appeal.
I think that means add all the green pepper.
I think that's what it means. We did it. High five. Chonga.
Really, I think you all need to celebrate. We did a high five, and Kristen actually hit my hand.
I did.
And that doesn't happen often.
And everybody says kachonga when they high five.
For sure.
Kachonga.
Kachonga. Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
I think that happens a lot. It's because she's used to missing the hand. Yes. And so she wanted to put the noise in verbally so you wouldn't hear the whiff of the miss. So I was inspired by Mary's items, and I looked up to see if there were some other ideas out in the interwebs for things to do if you're spending Valentine's Day alone.
Yeah.
And I found an article that had 36 ideas.
Wow.
One of my favorites is that you could throw an anti-Valentine's Day party.
Ooh.
Which I thought was perfect because all through my 20s, I wore black on Valentine's Day.
What?
In a stand against love.
Against Valentine's Day.
Yes. I threw my own anti-Valentine's Day party of one.
Well, Carrie,
yeah.
I did not know that about you.
Right. Yeah, I am quite the protester.
How emo of you.
Oh, totally was. Yeah, only on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
It was just a protest.
I gotcha.
So I thought that was genius because obviously I did it myself minus the party.
That's right.
Yeah. Another idea they had was to get a head start on spring cleaning.
Oh.
That seems like a punishment.
That does seem like a
punishment. Like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. Let me clean the house.
Let me torture myself.
Right. So only a good idea if your name is Cinderella.
That's right.
Otherwise, not a good choice.
Not a good choice. I hope this list of 36 gets better.
Oh, it was. I picked my highlight and I picked the worst.
Oh, that was good.
And then there was, 34 others that all fell kind of in between. But what wasn't on there was to try a new recipe, which I thought was a great way to celebrate a day,
treating yourself to a new recipe.
To something new. And if you enjoy cooking, then there's the fun in that experience as well.
If you hate cooking, that would not be something fun to do on Valentine's Day.
No. Well, then you're eating a lean cuisine.
And then get yourself a beverage that came out in 1981 that I'm sure everybody remembers. Bartles and James wine coolers.
Shut your mouth.
They came out in 1981. Do you remember what they said at the end of every Bartles and James commercial?
Let's see. We're Bartles and James, and we thank you for your patronage. No.
So close.
Really?
Thank you for your support.
I love it.
So you get your lean cuisine healthy, get your wine cooler full of sugar and deliciousness not healthy.
Obviously, take the lean cuisine out of its packaging, put it on some
nice plate, get yourself a pretty placemat. That
would not be a bad day.
Not too shabby.
I think I'm into this.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, but this list that I referenced came from 17 magazine.
Did you have a subscription to that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I remember coming home, having mail as a kid was so exciting.
Yep.
Having my 17 magazine in the mail, immediately running, taking it back to my bedroom, sitting on the floor at the foot of my bed.
Oh my gosh.
To review all of the secrets to life and love and sure happiness and beauty.
Of course.
Located there in the pages of 17 magazine.
Yes.
Yes, being inundated by ads for Maybelline makeup.
Oh, that's right. I remember reading an article in 17 magazine and it had a facial scrub in it. And so I made it.
Okay.
And it was honey and wheat germ and other things like that. I scrubbed it on my face and all of a sudden giant hives started popping out. And that is how I found out that I was allergic to honey and or wheat germ. My face was all misshapen with hives.
The worst.
Yeah.
So I not only had 17 magazine.
Yes.
I also had had Young Miss magazine.
I think I like that one better than 17.
I think I did too. I think Young Miss actually was for a slightly younger audience.
Right.
Which I was. So it was a little less focused on dating, which I was not doing.
Yeah.
Much to my chagrin, let me
Well,
tell
of
you. I
course.
wanted to be dating.
Yeah.
No one was interested in dating what was, I'm sure, zitty, 14-year-old socially awkward me. But
Oh my gosh, that makes me remember my very first date ever was a Valentine's date.
I remember your outfit.
Oh yes,
It was a pink jumper.
It was like pink high-waisted pants.
Yes.
I think they maybe folded over at the top and had buttons.
Oh,
right?
I mean, they were super 80s.
Oh
It was
yeah.
like tight around the waist, super pleated.
Right.
So that they were kind of balloony in the legs.
They were. And then they had attached like overall straps.
Yes, that were super long from the waist.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I completely remember.
I
You
cannot
looked
believe
cute.
I looked so cute. And I got ready for the date and I was ready to go and he never showed up. And I was heartbroken.
Oh, devastated.
Yes.
I remember the tears.
I've been stood up on my first date ever.
Uh-huh.
We were going to a Valentine's dance. And Valentine's Day was on a Saturday.
Yep.
Well, Dan calls me. Hey, so just wanted to make sure you're ready to go to the dance tomorrow. He never told me that the dance was going to be the day after Valentine's Day on a Sunday. It was a church Valentine's dance, so they did it on a Sunday.
Right.
And then all of a sudden everything was okay.
Of course. He didn't stand you up. He's just the worst communicator in the world.
That's right.
I'm so sorry, Dan's wife. I hope his communication has improved.
Well, he was a teenage boy, and they are not the best in communication.
Yes. Well, that's very true.
That's right. Oh, I can't believe I remember that trauma.
Kristen, I
Yes.
apologize. I'm looking at you and all your trauma, and I'm seeing the cheese in the background. We're supposed to put the slices of cheese on top of the meat.
We are, but not until we put it in the 9 by 13 inch
Oh, we
pan.
didn't do that already. We're just
No,
keeping
but it
warm
says
in the-
we're just keeping it warm.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's go ahead and get the eggs in.
All right. Sorry about that abrupt change.
Man, that was rude. I was reliving my trauma, and you have to talk about mozzarella cheese.
I know.
You know what? You're like our mother. Nothing else matters in the world but cheese.
Oh my gosh. She got me one of those little plaques that says, I love you more than cheese.
I mean, that's a lot of love.
That is a lot of love.
Yeah.
We also need some oil.
I have the oil. Let
Oh,
me grab
good.
it.
All right. And then we're going to whisk till foamy. Okay. We got foam, people. Foam.
All right. So now we just have to mix in the
Flour and salt.
Let's mix that up.
Excellent.
All right. Well, Carrie,
Yes.
what movies were out around Valentine's Day, 1981? Any guesses?
Gosh. I mean, like I would have been 7.
Oh, so you
So-
probably wouldn't remember.
Annie.
Oh, good guess. We went to see that. We had to leave early because you got sick.
I did.
I was so mad at
Oh,
you.
I don't blame you.
I wanted to see the ending. I mean, Annie is being chased up that big tower.
We left right as Punjab took off his turban to save Annie.
Oh,
It was the scariest scene of the entire movie.
yeah.
And yeah, bad things were happening in my belly.
We had to go. I was so depressed. But you could have seen on February 14th, 1981,
Okay.
working 9 to 5. What a way
My
to make
daughter
it.
was just in that musical.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know it was 81.
That was an awesome movie. And I don't know if I saw it at the time, but I did see the movie. And it had Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Dolly Parton.
Of course, Dolly Parton.
It was so funny.
What a great one.
And the bad guy, the bad boss, was played by Dabney Coleman, who was in so many shows at that time. He was so good at being bad.
yeah.
And so if you're sitting in the movie theaters watching them string up Dabney Coleman, remember how they had them all trussed up and
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah. A candy that most of us love came out in 1981.
Goobers.
Most of us don't love goobers. What the heck? I mean, they're fine, but
Milk duds. Raisinette.
no. The candy that came out in 1981 was Skittles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
That's right. So you can be sitting in the movie watching 9 to 5, eating your Skittles.
Crunching your Skittles too
Crunching
loud.
your Skittles. You can either do this all by yourself as a treat for Valentine's Day, or take a loved one.
I think that sounds fantastic. And then head home and have a nice serving of popover pizza.
Ooh, or a lean cuisine if that's how you roll.
Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
The mixture's ready. So it says,
We put it in the pan. We
okay.
put the mozzarella cheese on the top.
Okay, yes.
We put the batter on the top. Then we sprinkle that with some Parmesan.
Ooh, how many slices do you put on?
Well, I
Does
don't
it
know,
say?
but I say all of them.
Okay, so
Yes.
I actually looked up what the most popular fashions were in 1981. So what would you have been wearing on your date with Dan the man?
Oh, man. Parachute pants?
Well, no, you'd be wearing the pink floofy pants with the overalls like I had.
I think I would have been wearing something fluorescently colored.
Probably, but on your feet, you would have been wearing jelly shoes.
Oh, I loved the jelly shoes. Those suckers gave you blisters like
Oh, they
nobody's
did.
business.
And your feet would sweat, and then they'd kind of make like squishy noises in the raw jelly shoes.
I had clear jelly shoes
Oh,
with
yes.
sparkles in them.
I remember those. And didn't they have lots of cutouts?
Oh, they
all over
did.
them?
Yep.
Oh, those were
And
cool.
every now and then your pinky toe would get caught on the outside of the cutout. Very uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. Acid wash jeans.
Yes, crop tops.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. All it said for men was the preppy look was in.
Remember popping the collar of
Oh,
your
heck yeah.
Izod?
Do you remember wearing two Izod shirts? So you would have two collars to pop. You wear one inside the other.
Oh, I don't think I ever did, but I do remember.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was,
Oh, yeah. My friend
very nice.
Tracy, who was a guy, wore two
Oh, 'cause
Izod shirts.
He was the height of cool.
I mean, and he had a
Obviously.
flock of seagulls hairstyle. I
Oh,
mean, he was
fabulous.
the coolest.
The coolest. I
Yeah.
remember having tealish colored corduroy Bermuda shorts.
Oh, my.
With a lovely Argyle sweater.
Oh, yeah.
That had the same kind of teal in it.
Argyle was so popular.
Cool with the turtleneck. But,
Turtlenecks are on the list too.
Oh,
You
yes.
were styling.
Yes.
So let's take a look. Oh, we have to
Parmesan.
sprinkle with the Parmesan, and then it's going to go in the oven for 30 minutes or until puffed. All right, let's pop this in the oven.
All right. And while you do that, do you remember, Kristen, as a kid, Valentine's Day celebrations at school and decorating your brown paper bag?
Oh, do I? That was so much fun.
It was. And then, I don't know about you, but would you tape it to the front of your desk?
Oh, yes.
So it would hang down. So it was just like this perfect little card receptacle of joy.
It was. One year, I think we taped them to the chalkboard ledge all at the front of the room.
Ooh.
Yeah, fancy.
Did anybody ever bring you a full-size Valentine's Day card?
No, but I remember the hullabaloo when one of my classmates brought a full-size Valentine's card for a boy in class.
Oh, I mean, it was true love.
Oh, yeah.
That was definitely going to last the ages from third grade through all eternity.
That's right. We were all a Twitter about that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that was some serious business, the full-size Valentine's card.
Yeah. Do you remember going through each Valentine card very specifically and picking it out for your classmates?
Oh, sure. I mean, you got them in a box.
Yep.
So you had 3 of each Valentine's Day card.
Right.
But you had to make sure they all had different sayings on them. And you had to make sure that the boy you liked got a saying that indicated that you liked them, but it didn't indicate that you liked them.
That's right.
And so, for sure. And your best friend had to get the nicest one of all.
Yes. So I looked up what were the Valentine cards that were popular in 1981.
Okay.
Yep. So Garfield.
Excellent.
Some others would have been Strawberry Shortcake.
Ooh.
I loved her.
Yes.
Yep. Then I think the best one, McDonald's had Valentine cards.
Yes.
And I found some online from 1980s that were scratch and sniff.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know,
Did they
right?
smell like French fries?
That's what I thought too. I looked closer. No, Ronald is holding a nice, delicious cup of hot cocoa for you to scratch
smell
and
like
sniff.
chocolate.
Right. And then the other one, the Fry Guys, were holding a cupcake.
Oh,
So they smelled
gosh,
sweet.
do you remember scratch and sniff stuff?
It was so popular.
It was, and then after a while, that little sticker would be all ripped up as you would just scratch the ever-loving life out of it.
Oh, I loved those. You remember getting those on your papers at school?
Oh, the sticker. Yes, great job. Here, smell like roses.
No. Grape job. And it smelled like
Oh,
grapes.
you're totally right. Oh, gosh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And then I remember specifically that I had pens that looked like lollipops. The cap was the top of the flat, round, circular lollipop,
Yeah.
and then the pen was very thin and white, like the stick, right?
Okay.
And the ink smelled like the color. So the yellow smelled like lemon, the green smelled like lime. Oh, they were so cool.
Oh my, you are so
I
cool.
know, right?
Wow. I think I remember those pens. And I think I remember thinking they were amazing until you tried to write with them.
Yeah, they didn't write very
Well,
well.
they didn't write very well, and the stick was so skinny that
Yes.
you couldn't quite get a hold of it.
That's true.
And it was very uncomfortable to write with.
Oh, but they were cool
Oh,
looking.
but who cares? This
That's
is not
right.
for comfort. This is for looking like the coolest kid in class.
I know, right? All right, well, that's in the oven. It's going to cook for about 30 minutes. So we'll
Okay.
see you guys on the flip side.
We have a popover pizza. It is
Woohoo!
out of the oven. We have our first slice dished beautifully up.
Yep.
And man, is there a lot of juice in the casserole dish.
It is pure liquid flowing out of the bottom.
Right.
You know, we let
yeah.
it sit for about 10 minutes and it's still just pure liquid under there.
It's really liquidy. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that hindsight,
Yeah.
I would skip the water and the mushroom juice.
I would totally skip those. I would think you'd want it to be kind of rich and thick.
Well, like the topping of a pizza,
Yes.
which is not juicy liquidy at
No,
all.
not at all. And then the
Uh-uh.
top of it looks like a moonscape or like Mars.
It does. It does. There's little volcanoes where you can see the juice pushed up through it.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
some heavy volcanic activity. Others are just vents of steam.
There's craters in
Mhm.
it. It really looks like a planet landscape,
Yes,
doesn't
it
it?
did not pop up like a Yorkshire pudding does
Not one
at
bit.
all.
But it's certainly not flat on the top.
No, but
And it's not fluffy either, like biscuit consistency.
no, it's not. It's thin.
It is. You know what? It kind of reminds me of the outside of a Hot Pocket.
Oh, we're back to the hot pocket,
We
are
are
we?
indeed. Oh, speaking of Hot Pockets, since
Uh-huh.
this is kind of like one, do you know they were not called Hot Pockets at first?
No, really.
No, they had a different name when they came out. Chunk Stuffers.
Shut up. Chunk stuffers. Weird that they thought that that wasn't going to sell well.
Right? Okay, I'm going to take a bite.
Is that a good?
It is so good.
Really?
Take a bite.
There's a super cheesy side over here, so I'm digging in there.
It's so deliciously savory.
You know, I'm underwhelmed.
Really?
I think it has incredible potential.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe instead of tomato sauce, to just put a pizza sauce in there.
Now that would be tasty.
Now the crust is delicious with all that Parmesan cheese toasted.
I think that's what tastes so good to me. With that Parmesan baked onto it,
Mhm.
it is salty and it has a great texture.
Mhm.
But you're right. A couple of things to change. No liquid from the mushrooms.
Yep.
I would not add in the amount of water that it calls for. And if you use a jar of pizza sauce,
Mhm.
that would also be a little bit thicker than regular tomato
Mhm.
sauce.
I think, and it would give you some additional flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, this is something we totally would have eaten at home in the 80s.
Oh my gosh.
Mom would have made
absolutely.
this. in a
And it would
heartbeat.
have tasted just like this.
Oh, yes.
And we would have loved it.
Very much.
It's very reminiscent of those Chef Boyardee
Yes.
pizzas that she would get.
Right. We talked about that
Mhm.
before, how she would press it out on a cookie sheet until it was so thin you could see through it.
Well, and the crust would be almost as thin as
Yep.
the top on this. The flavor, she would always use ground beef, onions, and green pepper.
Absolutely.
It really is very reminiscent
Of
of
those
that.
Chef Boyardee packages. They came with Parmesan cheese
They
that you would
did.
sprinkle on. And then do you remember that Mom would often just put on slices of American cheese on
Yes.
the top of the pizza?
And you know how American cheese bakes? It gets all wrinkly
Yes.
and pulled on the edge. It's not
Yeah.
visually appealing.
It was not visually
This
appealing.
is much more visually appealing.
Yes.
It has mozzarella, which is delicious. I think to 80 standards, this is a tasty, fantastic dish.
Yes.
I think in today's foodie standards,
Mhm.
it needs zhuzhed up.
Agreed.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. It has been so much fun. Happy Valentine's Day. Please check out our website if you enjoyed what you heard. We would love to get some positive feedback from you. Thanks for listening to Mom's Wooden Spoon. If you like what you heard, don't forget to subscribe. If you want a copy of this recipe or to check out our blog, click on the link to our website in the podcast description. If you'd rather, you could get to our website through Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Pick your poison.
Don't say poison. We're making food.